What up, YouTube? Clay here from the Sizzling Sasquatch food truck and restaurant. Wanted to talk to you guys today about turning 40. I'm turning 40 this year, and about what I've been able to accomplish in the years, me and my wife, and what we haven't been able to accomplish, mostly. So, me and my wife, we've been married 12 years now. And, yeah, we've been working, both of us working together, day in, day out. Working. There was times when, she was working and I wasn't, and I was working and she wasn't. But for the most part, we've always been working. Always been trying to get by. Always trying. And at first, when we first got together, it wasn't so bad. Things were a little better. Things were more affordable. But as the years rolled on, it got worse and worse and worse and worse as time went. And now we're at a point here now. She's turning 40 this year. I'm turning 40 this year. And we're broke. We are physically broke. We have nothing. We work and we have nothing. And the credit cards are maxed. Darn near maxed. We live in overdraft most of the time. We can't afford to buy a house. We can't afford to buy land in this country. Canada. It's sad. Sometimes it feels like, well, what's the point? You go to the grocery store and you get a few fruits and vegetables and, a block of cheese, a thing of yogurt, some milk, and some eggs, and it's $100. You don't even have any meat. You don't have any meat in your basket, and it's $100. And that'll get you by for, a day or two. Maybe 3 days max if you're lucky. And, it seems like if you want to eat and survive in this country, Canada, you can live in the frozen aisle on TV dinners for like $3 or $4 each, but that is just garbage. You can't live off of that. You can't eat that, right? You need fresh meat, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, but all that stuff, it feels like you have to be a millionaire to afford that kind of stuff to eat. It's so bad. And then you get hammered every time you got to leave your house. We can't afford to live in town. We live in this trailer here, this single wide modular trailer, 25 minutes out of town south. And, rent's cheap here. But then you got your propane bill, your electricity bill. And, that all adds up. And then when you get hammered with all the taxes on top of it, like just to fill up my propane bottle last month, it was $1,300, and it's almost empty. Almost empty now. Okay? And $200 and something of that was just carbon tax. And the tax on the carbon tax. So there was, there's a bunch of stuff. It's like we're 40 years old and we don't own our truck. We own our little tiny 2012 miled out Chevy car. We used to own our trailer, but in order to start our business, our enclosed trailer, we had to borrow $10,000 to get the business off the ground. And we don't own that trailer. They got a lien on it right now until that loan's paid off. And we've been making payments on it every month. But we just finally, it was $10,000 and we've been paying it for almost a year now. And we're only down at like 9,700 out of 10,000 because of the interest. Like, come on, give me a break here. I mean, I'm grateful for the loan. Really grateful. Couldn't have started the business without them, right? That's for sure. It's just, it's like, what do? You're 40 years old and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying. And this country, Canada, right here, has turned its back on us completely. Completely turned its back on us. You know, we're like literally, like they say, $200 away from becoming homeless. And, you know, everything we've gotten and we're getting, we need to invest to try to get our restaurant off the ground, right? So we need to come up with $5,650. So $5,650 just to pay the deposit and the first month's rent. That's for the first month. Okay? And then we have to move from this house over to where our restaurant is. Who knows how much that's going to cost? It's 2.5 hours down the road. And then you got all these tariffs and trades wars and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It takes its toll on you. Like, I'm super nervous right now because if it doesn't work out for us, we're literally going to be homeless. Literally going to be homeless. And that's what you get for your years of working. Nothing. You don't get a safety net. You don't get nothing. It's kind of sad when you think about it. And then, you know, you do your taxes from your business and they want a bunch of money, thousands of dollars that you don't have. It's, how do you get ahead? Every time you're trying to do something and get ahead, you just get hammered with more bills, more taxes. Something messes up and you got to pay it. Then you owe your dues, your taxes. You know, it's so we're basically at the end of an era right now. You see these arcades right here? These arcades right here. These arcades are what I used to start our first business. This is the first one we started off with here. I bought this one from a friend for a couple $100. Then I got this one on 4 monthly payments. So 4 payments every 2 weeks. It was like $150 every 2 weeks. I got this one on Boxing Day on sale for $250. I got this one on sale for Boxing Day for, what was it, $450. And this one I got on sale on Boxing Day for, I think it was $299 or $350. But yeah, so we started off with those 4 arcade cabinets and I started renting them out. So that basically maxed out the credit card right off the bat to get that going. But I've had these, this is the second year we've had these arcades now. I've been renting them for a while. We eventually bought a bounce house, 2 bounce houses, and we've been renting those out. And, you know, we just worked this business from literally nothing. Just a credit card and some debt. We worked it into a business. It wasn't, I can't say it was like the craziest business, but it was extra income on the side on top of working, which helped us grow and buy more arcades. You can see we got 10 of them now. It helped us buy, you know, a few more arcades and get the second and first bounce house. So it got us there. And yeah, we rented them out, you know, quite a bit, but not like enough to make tens of thousands of dollars a month or anything like that. It was just a good side hustle, right? But then eventually you got to pay taxes on this too, right? From working it, making the money on it. So we're at the point now where we we're selling this business. I just sold all those arcades there because I need to raise money to get into our restaurant that we're opening here in May. And like I said, it's going to cost $5,650 to get into there for the first month for the damage deposit and the first month's rent. So I just sold all these arcades for $1,800. So we're kind of halfway there. And the other bounce house I just sold for $800. And I still have one bounce house left that I'm going to sell for $700, but I'm sure it'll sell at some point here. So that gets us 3/4 of the way to where we need to be. But then, am I going to have to pay taxes on this because they're all part of the business now? Like, what are they going to tax me again for making a little bit of income that I needed to support the business? Like, it's getting out of control here. Getting out of control. So we're going all in this summer. This is it. This is for all the marbles. We're going all in. Oh, and did I mention to sell all these arcades? I sold it to a dealership 4 hours down the road, so I got to drive those out tomorrow. The one bounce house that I sold, I got to drive that out tonight. That's an hour and a half down the road. So there's still lots of running around to do. It's like it never ends. So I sold them all in one shot, which was nice, so I didn't have to piece them out, which was helpful. But I mean, it's and then we owe a few $1,000s for, because we just did our tax return for the year. We owe a few $1,000s. We got to pay by March 31st for the business, and then we got to move because our restaurant is 2.5 hours away from here. I'm going to be sleeping out in a tent, and after a day's work, I'm going to be bathing in the lake. But there's just such a shortage of housing, we can't even find anything right now. Nor do we even have the money if we wanted to. So, it really takes its toll on you, all this. You work, you're doing everything right, but it feels like you're doing everything wrong. And it's, no matter what you do, every time you turn around, there's somebody's hand out and they want more money, more taxes, more this, more that. And it's not like it used to be. When I was like just starting off in the world, like 18, 19 years old, I used to make $600 every 2 weeks. Okay, I had this construction job. I made $600 every 2 weeks. And I had more than enough. I had a 1-bedroom apartment downtown. It was like 400 and something, so I could afford my apartment. Like for $125, you could fill your shopping cart for like the month, basically, right to the top, overflowing. You'd have so much groceries, so much. All the best snacks, all the best meats, all the best everything that you wanted, and it was only like 125, 150 bucks. And then I always had money left over. I could always go do stuff. I could go out with my friends. I could go out for dinner. I could go do this and that, and it wasn't terrible. It didn't break the bank. But nowadays, you got 2 incomes going, and you're both working, and you can barely scrape by, and it's it makes you wonder why people want to give up, right? And they don't want to work anymore. And they'd just rather do nothing, because you just get punished so hard and so deeply for your work. Where's the incentive to want to go work or do better or do more when you just get punished so bad? That's I can't explain it. It's, I just can't explain it. I don't know how anybody's surviving right now, to be honest with you. And I don't know how the business is going to survive. I hope it survives. I hope we have a good shot. Like, I feel like this is like our last summer here before everything's so bad that there's nothing left. So it's like all or nothing at this point. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that there's at least a summer's left in this business before it folds up and there's nothing left. Because the future's not looking too good. Hence the reason why we're trying to move to the United States. It might not ever happen. I mean, at this rate, it might not. Or it's a dream. It's wishful thinking, and I really, 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 I can see the vision in the future, and we're working our buns off to get there. But sometimes it's just you feel like you're losing all hope, and it's just there's too much weight on your shoulders and too much pressure. You can't go work a normal job 9 to 5. You'll just drown. Like you can't keep you can't keep afloat. There's no money left over. You're just working to survive and get by, and I don't feel like that's good enough. It wasn't like this before. I don't know why it's like this now. It shouldn't be. And it just makes me mad. Like, I got friends in California, for instance, one of the heaviest tax states in the entire union. Their worst taxes in the whole country over there. Okay, it's the worst. But they still have it better than we do. Okay? Way better. My friend, he works a regular job. He goes and does his work, does his thing. He can afford to live down there. It seems like they're always doing something awesome, going out for dinner, having barbecues, enjoying life, this and that. And they own a house. We've been working our tushes off for years, and we can't even afford a house. They say it takes 20 years to save up for a house now. How is that ever going to happen? That's ridiculous. And then when you save up for this house after 20 years, you're stuck in a mortgage for another 30 years. And it's not just a cheap mortgage, like $200,000 or $300,000 house. You're talking $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. Like, it's just, yeah, a $200,000 or $300,000 house is like a 1-bedroom or a studio apartment these days. Almost $2 a liter for gas. Like, why do I have to get punished to drive my kid to school or to go to work every day? It's not my fault. Why do I gotta get punished to heat my house and keep my lights on? Like, they just punish you with ridiculous taxes just for having, like, I don't think heat is a luxury in this country. It's a necessity. And you get carbon taxed on that. And isn't the whole point of the carbon tax to make you use less? Well, how can I use less heat when it's minus 30 all the time? Tell me, explain that to me, how that works. It doesn't work. Okay? I can't use less gas because I have to live 30 minutes out of town. Because I can't afford to live in town. So I get punished for going to work every day, and my wife going to work every day and driving my kid to school. It's like, I don't have a choice. There's no buses out here. There's no transit. I can't afford to go move to the big city. That'd be even worse. And so we get punished just for existing out here, which makes zero sense to me whatsoever. So some days you just want to give up and throw in the towel, and it seems like that's most days these days. The only thing that really keeps me going is honestly my kid. You know, having her, the thought of her, I want her to have a better life. She's not going to have a good life here. If she has to go like this, she'll never be able to leave the house. She'll never, ever be able to leave the house and go out on her own. She'll never have that chance. Not in this country, not right now, and I just don't think it's going to get any better. It's just not. So, there's still, I feel there's still a chance out there in America. It's just not here in Canada. Like my wife, she's from the Philippines. She got sold a bill of goods when she moved here, that if you come here, you work hard, you'll be rich. You'll have everything you ever wanted. You know what she isn't? Is rich, and she works harder than anybody I know. Double shifts all the time, 6-7 days a week. She's not rich. We're not rich. There's no extra money. It's all gone. By the time we're getting done taxed, our paychecks, 57% of it's all gone. between taxes, carbon taxes, this tax, that tax. You know, I get taxed for my health care. But meanwhile, if I drop dead of a heart attack right now, the emergency room's closed. Our brand new hospital is closed today, the emergency, because they don't have any staff to staff it. So what is my taxpayers' dollars really paying for if I were to drop from a heart attack right now? The ambulance ride to the funeral home? Is that what it pays for? Like, it's it's definitely not paying for them to get some doctors over there or incentivize them to get doctors. There's no reason why they can't pay a doctor or fly one out for the day if it's short-staffed on that day. They know it's going to be already when they're doing the staffing challenges. Have one come out for the day. Take one from Vanderhoof or Smithers or Prince George. Have him come out. Pay him extra, whatever he needs. Just make sure the doctor's available there. And a nurse too. Pay these people what they deserve. No wonder they're all leaving this country and going to the United States. Because they get paid double in the United States and they don't have to deal with all these red tape and regulations and... Turning 40. This is what turning 40 looks like in this country right now. Have a good look right here. This is turning 40 these days. Broke. Maxed out credit cards. Living on $200 away from the homeless train. Living in the truck. That's what this country looks like turning 40 these days. And we're so fortunate that we even have this house in the first place. That's 30 minutes out of town, because there's a lot of people out there that can't find houses and they're sleeping in cars and tents and they're homeless. What's the point? I know what the point is, but there's a lot of people that may not be as strong-minded or as willed or as determined as I am. Even though the world keeps kicking me and kicking me and kicking me, and I feel like there's no hope and there's just nothing to strive on for. I never ever stop. Even though it feels useless. I know. It might not be here in this country, but there's something out there for me, and that's what I'm still working for. And my family, of course, especially my daughter. But right now, I know y'all are feeling the same way. I hear it from lots of people. You go follow a Facebook page. It's called Canadians Moving to Florida and the USA. There's person after person after person after person after person after person feeling the same way. All we do is work. We get taxed to no end. And we got nothing. And then you hear about all the people in that group too. That they've already taken the leap. And they've moved to the United States. And they said, shoulda did it years ago. Shoulda did it years ago. Living a great life. I may not be rich, but at least I got a house and I got some extra money. It's more than I can say here. And they're not working 20 hours a day. So, it's a lot better than what we're doing here right now. And I feel for everybody that's going through it. But we all got to do what we got to do. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate a lot of things. It's just, I just don't appreciate what's going on right now. And then you got all these politicians fighting over who's going to screw us the hardest. Well, stop screwing us. How about that? Stop giving yourself pay raises while we're struggling. My wage has never gone up. It always goes down. Because the cost of everything goes down. Hang in there, friends. Hang in there. There might be some hope. I don't know. But I know you're feeling what I'm feeling. This is what 40 looks like. Broke. You've worked your entire life and you got nothing. I couldn't get nothing in this country. At least I got something in the United States to look forward to. But that's it for today. Have a good day. Like and subscribe. Probably nobody's even listening to this, but if you made it this far, hang in there. Hang in there.